As discussed previously, virtually all aspects of life were dramatically transformed in the 19th century. Also during this time heavenly signs foretold in the Bible appeared: a cataclysmic earthquake, a dark day with a red moon, hundreds of thousands of meteors falling like snowflakes, a cosmic light show caused by geomagnetic effects of the Carrington event, and groups of Christians around the globe expecting the glorious return of Jesus in clouds in 1844. Let's briefly cover a few more dramatic events which occurred in the 1800s. As we find ourselves in a pandemic right now, let's contrast our situation with the multiple pandemics of the 19th century. Imagine this: history records no incidents of cholera prior to the 19th century, and then in the 1800s it hit like a hydrogen bomb. There were 5 cholera epidemics during the 19th century. The first started in India in 1816 and lasted 10 years, spreading to Southeast Asia and Central Europe. In 1829 the second pandemic arrived and lasted 5 years, spreading cholera to Russia, Central Europe, and America. A third deadly pandemic broke out in 1846 and lasted until 1860. It killed over 1 million people in Russia, 236,000 in Spain, 200,000 in Mexico, perhaps 200,000 in Japan, 150,000 in America, and 15,000 in Mecca. There were 2 more horrific pandemics. The fourth lasted from 1863 to 1875 and the fifth from 1881 to 1896. Each with very high death tolls. That was cholera, but there was also smallpox, which, for example, is estimated to have killed 400,000 Europeans every year, and was responsible for a third of all cases of blindness. It is estimated that between 20% to 60% of infected people with smallpox died, and 80% of infected children. There were also typhus and yellow fever pandemics, and a bubonic plague pandemic that began in Yunnan, China in 1855. By the 1890s it had spread to all inhabited continents and killed an estimated 12 million people. We also didn't cover the great 19th century famine in Ireland, which cost the lives of over 1 million people. That puts our current situation in quite a different perspective. Given all we've seen so far, the 19th century was indeed a time which called for a spiritual reboot. Interestingly, the Christians weren't the only 19th century millennialists. In Persia there was a group of Islamic scholars who, without any knowledge of William Miller, were also expecting the return of a promised one. It sounds incredible beyond belief, but based on their calculations of their Islamic history and traditions, they too expected this event to occur in the year 1844. That will be the topic of the next video.